Well, here we go. Very motivated.
Showing that Torbjorn turret in the kill feed, it's always a way to like get in your opponent's head, right?
Uh-oh. Yeah, just going to be some swaps coming through as WGS gets ready for the first attack.
Beyond's Widow here. Remember, this defined BlossoM for 2 seasons. It was either their strength or their weakness, depending on the map.
They lived and died by it.
They certainly did, and that
mostly died by it.
Mostly dying by it. That trend may continue here. We'll have Ana actually coming around for WGS Armament. Not going to be the strongest against the Widow. They may swap that, actually, but we'll see.
Well, not going to be able to get any shots in around that shield. Has to kite over to the right-hand side here. Push his way over. With the grapple hook, Myungbong will get picked off by Illicit. Nice little find, and yeah, Ana way too slow to rejoin with this squad, so will have to get escorted by somebody you would expect.
Yeah, I think
or have the attention drawn away by the rest of the squad pushing in onto the points. It seems like that might just be the play.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to build ult charge. This isn't going to be the cap.
They're trying to get set up here with a barrier, getting some decent shots in on a Karayan. Get top back up. They'll be spraying away as they move off of the point. Oh, going to be dragging them up, but Zarya Bubble is there. Shield is up. He'll be fine. Wilson kites his way back, spamming out with the nades, getting tagged up, falling low. We'll go ahead and get some healing coming back through, but 2 ticks getting ready to be picked up. WGS lock those ones in. On's still going to be sniping, has that infra sight up, but can't find that many targets. One headshot in onto DPI, but cannot break the mech out yet. Riptire going to be coming through, pops it into the back, finds Pelican and Karayan. That might just shatter this push. So very close to getting the cap here onto A. WGS are trying to work their way out of here. 97% gain.
The biggest concern for BlossoM now is not that Sia is asleep, but in fact that Swoon is playing support Brigitte, so they don't have a burst heal to deal with the grab and the shatter that will follow. That's the big issue. Like, they already used the Riptire, so they can't stop this push. If they get onto the point and use those ultimates, there's no answer for BlossoM. So
yeah,
that is the hardest part.
Especially with Myungbong with that bio nade. But just go ahead and throw that on top of the Graviton Surge and really shut him out. Gargoyle, however, going to get bashed up. Swoon goes forward, takes him down. The sound barrier coming in too late to save his life, and DPI will go ahead and come up with a kill on the Mineral, getting rid of that supercharger as well. Sia gets knocked out of the mech, so maybe a blessing in disguise here. Gargoyle going to be able to hold on to that Graviton Surge for the fight at B as they get ready to go ahead and close out A. Just need to clean up Illicit, which they do. And now it's going to be 5:38 on the clock as they get ready to approach.
Yeah, Swoon's going to swap off the Brigitte, which means Illicit will probably, after this Riptire swap, I think he should keep that one. That one is just too useful to throw away, especially against this comp. But as WGS moves in, that, like you said, it's a blessing in disguise. He holds that. It's a big point. They're going to avoid being grouped up, so it's hard to actually hit a grab. Here's the Riptire.
We'll be rolling through up here onto the high ground. They get a couple shots in.
Oh, really patient from WGS.
Yep, runs it in, and that's going to be Karayan getting dropped.
They're just like, all right, fine, you can use that. We're just going to reset. We've got a good time bank. That's okay.
Right back, Illicit will be swapping off. Let's see where he wants to go. I wonder. Yep. I know.
That was weird that like we got the transition to Swoon on the Zen. I was like, whoa, he switched to Zen. What's going on? Position swaps on the fly here. Like, oh, I'm the support now. All right, so that was their first line of defense against the grab. The second one is going to be a lot harder as Swoon is not yet ready with the Transcendence. That's why the Observer is showing him right now, seeing if he can build that in this fight. Not in time.
Graviton Surge thrown down. Karayan looking for the pin. He'll get slapped in the meantime as the bomb gets dropped. And yep, you can see good positioning there. Illicit was ready for a shield bash in case he woke up in time to guarantee the pop onto that Reinhardt.
I'm not entirely sure, but I think the grab may have also been eaten by Sia. We didn't see a shot of it at all. So
no, I think it got off.
Yeah, well, I did see a big bio grenade on a lot of members, so I thought so, but we didn't see. Either way, nice denial here by BlossoM. The scariest part is over. They dealt with the grab push, and now WGS Armament has to kind of look for these eco pushes to build up again.
The way up the left-hand side here. Dude's just going to be amping it up. Keep everybody healthy. Spam coming down. Mineral right now. Only one on BlossoM with an ult available. Slams down the Shatter, locks up Orion. And he'll be the first one to fall. Pelican dropping shortly thereafter. Charge forward, just looking for any additional kills that they can get. It's going to be Illicit finding a triple on the back end.
So far, so good. Several tough pushes shut down. This one shut down in such a way that Gargoyle couldn't build ult charge. Now they're going to look for another rotation around. This one in the longer fight, if they commit the barrier and or rally first obviously, they're going to toss it out now. They can build the grab in the fight. Look at BlossoM, high ground control.
Stun coming in, Zarya Bubble saving Mineral here for the moment. Still going to be down to about half HP, but getting topped back up. The rally comes through from Illicit. Graviton Surge thrown down by Ons, but he got eaten instantly by DPI, who now has a bomb in onto the point, not going to be able to find a pick off. Swinging away here, Swoon with that Transcendence up, trying to keep everybody else healthy. Myungbo's going to be holding on to one of his own, now going to pop him, but it's a bit too late to save Ryan's life, but maybe it doesn't matter, because Gargoyle, he's going to find a quad kill on the back of the Graviton Surge, melts them down, looking for the pop-up. Bubble going to get thrown in here to save his own life. Burns down Ons, now just has to finish off Sia, which is no problem whatsoever for this man on a Zarya. Absolute monster. Gargoyle puts the team on his back.
He in the first push doesn't have to use the grab. He ends the second one there with a massive grab, high energy kills. For BlossoM now, you know, they picked this map because they wanted to play Widow, they wanted to play Junkrat, they wanted to play like it was Season 2, Season 1 again. Orisa, Junkrat, Widow. That's the old way. It did not work on A. The follow-up attacks were really patient from WGS. They were retreating against the Riptire. They were saving their ultimates. But moving into the attack, BlossoM's not going to be able to use something new and unusual here, right? They're going to have to go back to the bread and butter 3-3 that everyone in the world is running. I imagine by the time Overwatch League starts, we'll probably be seeing a lot of it there too, unless something drastically changes. It's just so strong right now. Even with the nerfs to Shield Bash, it's like, well, could be even stronger. We'll talk more about that later, but when you're running this now, we've already struggled against WGS in the 3-3 versus 3-3 mirror on Hollywood. Thinking, God, we really needed to burn through more time on A with that Widow that we chose this map for. We really needed to prevent the B capture. Now you kind of feel like you're fighting this uphill battle and your map choice doesn't mean anything anymore, because you just have to run the same thing that your opponent is more successful at, you know, in the mirror today. Unless they're going to run the you know, Hammond here, which is possible.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Will just be a swap out for the full 3-3.
I think you
running without the Zarya is...
You could make a case for Hammond instead of Diva, but not instead of Zarya.
Yeah. Here we go, speed boost, pushing forward. Alyssa going to be the first one taken down. Pelican finds that kill. Gargoyle cleans up Mineral.
I heard that Gargoyle fan scream, man.
Yeah, a very aggressive posturing here, looking for some staggers. And they will be able to get Sia out of the mech. Nicely done, not going to cost them much as far as the ult charge is concerned, but still a very solid victory. DPI in the meantime.
Yeah.
Whew. He has he's been building up these self-destructs pretty quickly.
He certainly has. That aggressive speed was just catching BlossoM off guard. Here's another one.
Yep, going into the shield bash this time. Not going to be netting too much. It's a bounce back there on the Mineral. Hitting him. Sia has to relocate, jumping back over to the rest of the squad.
It's actually super cool to see how DPI is playing, because he's also giving a lot of heal ult charge.
Pelican swinging away, bomb going through. Pick off Mineral. Self-destruct not going to find any kills, but yet again, pushing forward, looking for the staggers here. With how low, building up these ults.
Yeah, with how quickly DPI builds that grab, or sorry, the self-destruct, and how much damage he's doing while also putting himself at risk. Compare Mondu's ult charge of 90 to the 50 of Dotori, and you start to realize that a lot of this aggressive play is building up the sound barrier faster too. Ooh, Diva in the wrong place here.
Yeah, he faked it out actually. Gargoyle pushing forward, staring at the ground, trying to drain down that defense matrix.
That was
really
super
nicely done. The mind game's coming through. And this is some, Summer Zenyatta style stuff. Graviton Surge will be coming in on popping that. Transcendence up from Myeongbong. Keeps them topped up. BlossoM desperately would love to make their way over onto the point, but I don't think it's going to happen. The Graviton Surge now going to be coming out, locks them up. Commit the ultimates, they win the fight yet again, stomping their way through BlossoM. Hot knife through Butter, Sia popped out of the mech. They can just leave him be and force him to swap, but he is going to be charging forward. So want to have to do that.
This is the, this is the concern, right? Where you're like,
oh, okay.
This is the concern where you're looking at this saying like, okay, was this map choice worth it? Because this is not working out. We did not buy enough time with the Widow. We're getting smashed trying to attack A.
Well, Sia made it back to the back at least, so that's going to be good. But Self-Destruct up into the air here for TPI. Bomb going to drop. Not going to be able to find any hits, but Mineral tagged up. Sorry, Bubble saving his life. Drops to the Shatter. Finds two. Bomb will take down Gargoyle.
It has to be now. Like, this has to be
that was a little bit of an interesting one, but yeah, they will be charging forward over onto the point. TPI going to be the only tank left alive. Pelican now going to be going down. Trying to make their way back here. Do they go for the contest? It looks like they will just be possibly giving this one up as Myeongbong will go ahead and fall. So just set up for B. 2:09, the time set by WGS. 4:51 for BlossoM on this attack to start.
The Transcendence is available, so double cap very unlikely, but it would be massive for BlossoM to just suddenly turn this map around. Barely getting A, and getting the double cap to have a massive time bank advantage. 2 minutes is what we're looking at if they can make this work. Easier said than done. We're watching Pelican because he's looking to set up another shatter here for Karayan.
Yep, Karayan does have that one ready to go. Starts pushing his way forward. Hits the Zarya bubble though.
Yep.
So remember, it's going to be falling low. Karayan does go ahead. Slams it down, but will not find anything. And now they might just be able to turn this one around. The other one popping the Transcendence, just trying to keep them all alive. But now on, has the Graviton Surge, throws it straight into the base to take them out. Mandu not even close to having that sound barrier up yet. DPI going to be left alone here in the back on that pilot form. D.Va, and just like that, WGS putting in so much work. It all could go backfiring for them. Mineral slams down the hammer. DPI broken out, taken down. Ryan with a swap. Pelican dead on the Doomfist. I'm just trying to buy some time here with this Wrecking Ball, but he needs a lot more healing to try to keep this contested. Powell drives his way back through. Sound barriers out from Mandu. Self-destruct in from Sia. Not going to get anything. They get dangerously close. 91.9% here for BlossoM as they look for the finish. DPI still playing forward, getting melted down, popped out. On Smoke is firing him with that high energy on the Zarya. Myeongbong pushes his way through for the moment. The grab tries to get the pile driver, but yeah, the grab will interrupt it. They will be able to get the cap.
This is the moment where, as a coach for WGS Armament, you're the most disappointed because that entire win for BlossoM was actually based on the fact that WGS went out to take a sloppy fight. We were watching Pelican because we knew exactly what they wanted to do. They left the point. They came to BlossoM to take a fight away from the point, lost it, lost their spawn advantage because they lost too many members. They set themselves up perfectly to be grabbed. They got greedy. They got overconfident. They didn't play to their strengths. They played the opposite of how they played all night. And BlossoM just gets, bam, I have a way better time bank after your incredible hold on A. We almost got full held. And then now I have minute and 9-second advantage on you because you got cocky and you stepped out and you tried to set up the shatter when you had an ult disadvantage. That's the kind of thing that's a mentality that, Runaway has shown some weaknesses here and there this tournament with that sort of overconfident attitude. There's no other way to explain that. I mean, sure, if he hits the shatter and it all works out, great, they buy a time on the push, but rather have those ultimates to be used defensively, to use them counter-wise. The Transcendence was panicked there as well.
Yep.
BlossoM kind of stole that away. Now they've got a great opportunity to win this map, get back in the series.
Well, 2:08 to begin. 2:09 rather. WGS charging forward. 3-3. You can pretty much expect what they were going to be seeing here from BlossoM. On's back over onto the Widowmaker. Looking for a shot, trying to find that Lucio. Will not be able to do so. Myeongbong opens things up. There's no mercy in this comp. But Illicit does get some vengeance here, taking down that enemy Zenyatta and slowing up WGS.
Illicit's going to have to pick up the slack here. He's the remaining DPS right now. Zons rotates back in.
Shots coming in, trap set up right here in the front. He'll go ahead and get destroyed. Alyssa tagged up just a little bit, spamming through the Orisa barrier, trying to get some more damage in, trying to break down Karayan, but already 2 ticks gonna be grabbed here by WGS. As BlossoM starts trying to re-aggress. Riptire ready to go. Already is taking a lot of damage, but he rolls it through and it's gonna be a Quadra. Oh man, Illicit puts him in the grave, shuts down the push.
Nice sleep here as well to further stagger DPI. Pulled in by the halt. That was a game-saving Riptire potentially for Illicit because they were fast losing control of the point. And he just gets the right angle there. WGS has nowhere to back up. Launches it up before he reveals it, goes over the Reinhardt shield. Big play there.
I thought maybe it was going to die. It was down to 54 HP as soon as he channeled it.
Yeah. Okay, suddenly On's here in a nice angle. We'll have to retreat though. WGS is frustrated because they don't have their big ultimates online yet. And even the Shatter isn't going to be very effective against this much range. They can't lock down Ons, they can't lock down Illicit. And that's why this comp is considered a soft counter to the 3-3. You're just so flabbergasted by the range.
That shot had gone through, would have been huge. Brian inching his way up the barrier down to 99 HP. Shatter now going to be online.
Here's another
tire. Can it be big? Look at the drop it in. It's going to be a double. Gargoyle and Mondu both going to be gone. Karayan now going to be dead. The Shatter still just sitting there on his bar, but will never get to be channeled. That is a team wipe. That is it. 87.7% is all WGS can get.
And that's not enough against the time bank that BlossoM earned through WGS overextending, being too confident on B. When you look back at that B team fight now, there were probably a lot of smiles, there were probably a lot of, you know, all right, I'm gonna set up the Shatter, let's crush them, let's hold this. We're so ahead, they wasted so much time on A. Like, it was probably this moment of almost laughter, right, as they're trying to look for this, you know, when they're talking in comms about setting up this fight. And then they lose it, B gets capped, we go into overtime rounds, they get nothing, apart from the 2 ticks, right, slightly, it was in the 80s, the percentage. I think 87, if I remember what you said correctly, 87.7.
Yep.
And now it looks like BlossoM's gonna win this map and take a lead in the series.
Well, we'll see. If WGS can replicate the defense that we saw from them just a moment ago, they very well could drain down this 318.
Mondu and friends here just gonna look to build that grab ASAP. They're not gonna try to run the Widow comp. They're not gonna try to run the opposite of what this entire team was built for, which is built for GOATS. And for BlossoM, obviously they will match it. No Ana this time, just sticking with the Zenyatta, wanting to just kind of have that counter to the grab.
Push forward here. Both teams meeting. WGS basically going all in on this defense with their position right now.
DPI playing way safer this time. There's too much at stake to actually be aggressive, looking for those kills, looking for the self-destruct. He's hiding to the left side.
Ryan, though, building up nicely for that Shatter so far. They take Mineral dangerously low.
Great heal by Illicit. Saved Mineral's life there.
Yep, armor and that Orb of Harmony coming through. Swoon going to be at 60%. Bulk quite further behind. Pushing around the Ryan, swinging at each other. Ryan going low. Top and back up. Shatter is up. Mineral's still going to be 32% away.
Hey, he's got a good angle here.
Swinging away, stunned up. Karayan's going to be gone. Ons finds the kill. Now the grab going to be online, looking for some hits here on a Pelican, melting him down. Help with Alyssa, they will finish him off, and I think this might just be it. Yeah, Gargoyle also going to fall. They have the ult online, but now they need to buy. Just such a stupid amount of time to try to turn this one around. Neil's both going to get locked down. The Shatter will finish him off. Mondu skirting around the top of the walls here. Use the sound barrier on himself. Start ticking their way up. 1 tick going to be gained. The respawn's getting ready to come through. They need somebody to tag in. Mondu now going to be dead. There's no supports in on the point. Karayan instantly melted. Yet again, cannot use that Shatter. And that will be it. BlossoM do take the lead.
Really nice comeback here for BlossoM. Having really good usage of the Riptire, playing around Illicit, having that solid defense. WGS Armament's got to be really kicking themselves after that botched team fight on B. This is another one of those games where they were so close to having it in the bag. They mess it up in the end. Final map, potentially here, if BlossoM can close it out here with, you know, the map choice being WGS Armaments. Will they stick to their guns? Will they stick with the more common map, Route 66, try to play straight up against BlossoM? Or will we see the Dorado? I think the Dorado is less likely, given we've already seen what Illicit can do with a Riptire. And we know that Illicit's also very good at Hanzo, and after we saw Xy's Hanzo strategy yesterday, there's always the fear that could be something that is in the wheelhouse of BlossoM as well.
It's such a rough position to be in right now with this selection, because I mean, you mentioned the Hanzo strat that we saw yesterday. You drop the D.Va, you go for the Hanzo with the remaining three. You know what would normally be the 3-3, swap out the D.Va, go for the 2-1-3. Could do that on Dorado. That also opens up for Ons to snipe with Widowmaker again. But at the same time, you go to Route 66, suddenly quad DPS could be coming through.
Yeah. I think that is something I hadn't really been thinking about too much, actually. That's a good idea. It's a good concept. It works well for BlossoM, though, you know, with Ons in the roster.
Yeah.
Illicit as well. I think we are in for probably our most exciting map of the four, no matter what happens, because Route 66 is going to get crazy. If it is the quad DPS, even if it isn't, I'm going to take a look at some highlights real quick. Boom. It's going to be mostly the big explosion show.
A single. Forget how many this gets.
I think this is a double
one. I think it's just. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, this is Korean, yeah.
And then Korean again.
This is the part of the show where we watch people go boom.
Yep, and then it's Korean again. It's just a highlight of watching Korean get killed in various ways. 1,000 Ways to Die, Korean edition. Oh. Okay, they were the ones winning that time. But this is where the defense fell apart.
Yeah.
For WGS. Was so good up until that point. Getting that extra little bit of time.
Yeah, this is when, like...
And then it all came tumbling down.
Exactly. Exactly. This is the bad fight they take on B when they didn't need to. Here's this is the quad.
That's the quad.
Incredible tire there from Illicit.
And then he gets the kill with the trap as well. Just halt him back in. Another one. Just gets the double.
And then there's just no way out. Myunbong gets that killer. Mandu dies, you know, trying to delay. He wasn't able to bring his teammates back to the point fast because he was the only one left there to buy time. Had the sound barrier himself, as you pointed out. So BlossoM really turning this around. I think it was a very good map by WGS Armament. To be fair, it was actually really well played by them.
Yeah.
Minus that one mistake on B. But that, and I keep going back to it, that is why BlossoM had such a big time bank to eventually take A. But it feels like a redemption for BlossoM after what was a very shaky Hollywood. You know, the Game 1 BlossoM and the Game 3 BlossoM feel linked. The Game 2 BlossoM, that was like something else entirely, right? So
yeah. Well, here we go. The final map about to be revealed. Dorado or Route 66. Where does WGS want to take us? They had a fantastic performance in their first map pick of Hollywood, and it will be Route 66, so we may be seeing some more of that quad DPS coming through.
With no substitutions, with no Flora in the mix, I kind of lean towards BlossoM would be the only of these two teams to do that strategy. They didn't sub in Lip. It's just going to be Ons right in the position to go for Widowmaker. You'll have potentially Swoon on the Tracer. He's played Tracer before. Absolutely a possibility on attack.
Will be WGS starting here on the attack. And is this going to be real?
It looks...
Okay, Ons just going off the side of the map. Swoon, though.
Yeah, it until very recently looked real. It still looks sort of real.
I think, yeah, Swoon should be sticking through with this.
This is like my, you know, when the,
Okay.
when the Grinch leak came out for Smash Bros. Characters,
They're going
it's
for
like
a 4-2.
my emotions were the same. I'm like, well, this looks real. Slowly looked less and less real. Then at the end, I was like, no, it's real.
The
But
Grinch?
the Grinch leak for Smash Bros. You don't know about this?
People thought the Grinch was going to be in Smash
No,
Bros.
no. They thought all the good characters like Isaac and Gino were going to be in, but it was leaked by Grinch promotion thing.
Oh, I was like, the character from Dr. Seuss, the Grinch.
We got Persona characters in Smash.
I was gonna you did.
Look, all right, let's talk about this comp.
All
Sorry.
right.
I just, you know, I had to bring it back to Smash Bros. For a second, but
Confusing me for, okay, but yeah, go ahead.
anyway,
Swoon on the high ground.
Yeah, Swoon on the high ground. He's got a lot of damage output here. It's a surprise, obviously, the swap of WGS, but they circumvent him. And now they
on a
actually,
Mandu, though.
yeah, they're actually in a weird spot because they can't really get onto the cart without him.
Yeah, to open themselves up, make them a bit vulnerable. So still going to be playing up top.
He
Mandu
rejoins.
does manage to do so. Deny there on the fire strike from DPI. Swinging coming down. Mineral nearly with a shatter. Shield bash comes in. He's getting pelted, but does manage to stay alive. Pushing over, gets the mini pack. Starting to work his way back up, and you start getting confused about which team is pushing or which one is defending. The Mineral's going to be coming up with the kill here. Shatter coming down. Karayan locking up so many members of the side of BlossoM, but they have not been able to get the kills yet. Still just going to be Pelican now, Myung Bong, the only ones dying. DPI popped out of the mech, and Gargoyle going to be eliminated here at the end by Swoon. Spamming his way away, looking for the hook. Gets the pull in on the Pelican, and they take him down.
Comp that BlossoM is running just...
And now they can push the car. Oh, wait, no, never mind.
The comp that BlossoM is running does kind of ring around the rosy a little bit, right? Like, it does feel like they're actually the attacking team just with how they're positioning themselves. But it's one of those comps where if you start to win it, like, and Swoon just keeps hitting hooks, you're going to have a bad time as the attackers. Now, with the respawns out and the ults up, they have to give up control of this ramp, but they do pop out here.
Work their way out, lose out on the Mineral, though. Orill now finding a Tori, gets on. Suddenly, the defense going to be broken. Swoon using the whole hog, but instantly stunned up, I do believe.
Yeah.
Just pop Sia out. They
Probably
get
a
down.
swap for Swoon, I think.
More than likely.
You're losing out on the Transcendence with this versus a grab that's now online. You need to eventually build that. It was an interesting idea, and I think it bought a lot of time. Like, I'm kind of down with it. I thought it was pretty interesting.
It was neat. It was certainly neat.
Yeah. I think that's the safest commentator word to use here, but... All right, they're going to sweep around the backside here. Remember, they don't have a Transcendence, so committing the grab here and looking for that fight is pretty risky for BlossoM.
Graviton Surge going to be coming down, locking up WGS. Bomb in from above. Move over to the side, and that's going to open things up, so Gargoyle will get taken down. And we're going to be dropped by Karayan, but will not find anything at all. WGS taken down. BlossoM regained control.
Yeah, it's, you know, very aggressive grab, and WGS Armament counter with the Transcendence, but it was the follow-up there, the deny on Karayan Shatter, as well as that focus fire on him that really put BlossoM in a great spot. Now it's a long run back to the cart here. They're going to have to look for a big grab, and that's easier said than done. They're going to look for the high ground left side here.
Less than a minute remaining.
It's kind of their last chance.
They have the bigger bang. You'd expect them to be able to win this fight. Armor going to be coming out from Illicit. Starts things with that rally. Mineral getting tagged up here in the front line. Sound barrier out from WGS. Graviton Surge will be coming through, and DPI goes ahead and drops the bomb. Finds the pick off there on Illicit. Killed by the pin. 3 members gone for BlossoM. Sia popped out of the mech and eliminated. Just Swoon into Tori. Tori is nowhere to be seen. So completion will be found here for WGS on A.
Very good bigger bang setup there. Now WGS is going to look for a longer push here. They're just playing a little bit far forward right now. Only the tanks doing this. Gargoyle just trying to grab right-click, ult charge. Youngbong doesn't need to be up here because he's already holding the Transcendence. For BlossoM, you know, this is frustrating because they were so close to getting that full hold. So now they're going to have to reapproach, taking this left side angle.
Shatter coming down, Ryan locking them all up. Absolutely huge. There's going to be an instant wipe basically coming through here. As yet again, Tori just tries to make his way out safely. Seems like he will be able to do so, but the cart will just keep on trucking.
Certainly will. Good shatters for Korian tonight. Both of these Reinhardts have had big moments. It's not clear who's the better Rein. It's actually kind of the setups for the Vegetas as well. Pelican setting up many of those. But the grab here for both is not ready, so they're going to kind of poke at each other. It's not a committal on this fight, unless you're going to pick on Illicit, which now you can commit.
Taken down, pop out as well. Sia losing the mech. Deny, now Mineral caught out all on his lonesome, will be burned down, cannot use that shatter. We'll just be holding it for the final approach here towards C, but WGS, look at the war chest they have right now.
Yeah, and that was so efficient the way they did that too.
5 ults almost.
The target there on Illicit was smart. Then they had a DPI chase to grab Sia, kill his mech. Like, he almost got away, but he actually even committed the boosters just to make sure they were gonna get that down. Ideally for BlossoM, they want to fight before C. They want to try to build another set of ultimates here, be efficient. Oh no, another pick.
Yeah, he's going to get taken out instantly.
When you get kills like this,
so many ults up for both sides, but BlossoM, they get picked off one after the other. They won't get a chance to use them like this.
When you get kills like this as the attacking team, you get so much free distance without using ults. So you get to continue to be threatening with said ults. Now you can control a choke point on this map where the spawn is with a shatter and a grab. Even though BlossoM has more ults than you got positional advantage. Here we go.
Yeah, push over into the center. Gargoyle starts things off. Bomb into the front. They're trying to get the boot back. Not going to be able to find the kill now. It's a responding grab down surge coming in from On. So finding kill on a Pelican, but Gargoyle answers back. Trading against Brigidas. Illicit will also be taken down. Korian swinging away. Shatter out from Mineral. Finally gets to use that one. They will be able to take down Korian and knock the PI out of the map. Finish off that pilot form Diva. Just a couple more meters to go here on this push, but BlossoM will be able to stabilize, clean up a couple kills here on the back end. And now it's 1 minute and 30 left for WGS.
Really good crisis management here for BlossoM, all things considered. Looked really bad. Dotori comes in with the barrier. They've got good, clean target selection. Make sure that WGS Armament can't snowball this into completion. They do, however, in that longer fight, give over that ult charge to Gargoyle. So they're going to have to deal with one more grab.
Rally out from Illicit. Also looking to shut it down again, but the sound barrier will be there from Masu. So the Struck thrown down. Sia looking for a pick. That was a little bit too far. DPI takes up the kill onto the pilot form. Transcendence in from Swoon. Graviton tossed out. Gargoyle locking up 2. Mineral and Swoon both going to get dropped. The cart starting to inch forward again. Satori keeps tagging in on the backside of the cart, but will get burned down in the end. Pile Driver coming through as Sia swaps over onto the Wrecking Ball, but he'll have to zone himself back. That health back and then comes back in and instantly gets destroyed as the Swoon with the Tracer swap. That will be the completion here on Route 66. WGS, they get themselves over that finish line, but BlossoM, they were able to drain away a decent amount of the clock.
Yeah, it was really well done. I think that when you look at this amount of ultimates that WGS Armament came in with to see, and the fact that they were able to kill Illicit twice, and even still, BlossoM was able to sound barrier correctly, target down the front line, eliminate the backbone of WGS's comp while they had the faster respawn advantage, but they still had enough members to fight. That's impressive. I mean, they really did shave off about a minute of time there. Well, WGS Armament, against a weaker team, would have probably just won much faster off of that very fight. So this is where we would see the quad DPS from BlossoM if we were going to see it. It's on the attack, but it does not look that way.
No. I was gonna say, I never noticed that comic actually sitting in the diner.
Yeah, neither did I.
From the stars. I wonder what reference this could be.
I mean, it's new and original, unlike all the Marvel movies. They just keep releasing to print money.
Ooh, got him. I will say I was actually pleasantly surprised a bit by I forget what the name of it is. The new Avengers.
Avengers 7.2. Like this time, it's almost different than the last time, but not quite.
Infinity War Part 2. No, actually, the trailer was quite good.
Infinity Marvel movies.
There is
Total War versus Superman.
There is an infinite amount of those. But promise they're going to start losing their actors. Chris Evans already done with Captain America. But here we go. On the push. Their way up. Illicit already down to half HP. On as well. BlossoM getting tagged up. Ryan will be able to open things up with another very aggressive defensive play here. This time, WGS profiting quite nicely. from this forward posturing.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good start. And for BlossoM to change comps right now just doesn't make sense. So we're not seeing that quad DPS. Stormquake and O2 exclusive at the moment. Youngmong just looking to build ult charge here. That's why we watch his perspective. He's doing a lot of damage.
Bringing away high energy here for Gargoyle, speaking of damage.
Yeah, Ons just can't compete with him in the front line right now. They're going to have to kite back. Remember,
Gargoyle getting tagged up a bit, but still going to be chasing forward as he hits 100. Shatter ready for Korian.
Illicit versus Pelican. Pelican's winning out super hard, and you know, Illicit's been picked so much. I think he's playing a little bit more passively here, which is costing him ult charge. He's not swinging as much.
Rally is ready to go. We'll go ahead and pop that one. Armoring them up. Graviton Surge comes down. Only going to be locking up Ons and Mineral, but that is plenty to force the retreat call here.
I mean, when you're grabbing right here, you know something has gone wrong for the enemy team. Swoon didn't commit the Transcends because he's like, well, we're right here. I mean, I'm not going to use this ult just to save like 10 seconds potentially. Just going to wait for the respawn, but
push up high ground here around the back. Will now drop down as we continue. Rosie shenanigans here. Transcendence coming down, but Mineral's still going to be taken out by the pin. Ryan will lock that one down. Now going to be swinging away up into the front line. Shield coming back through, keeping himself alive. Barely. Oh no, from the side. Ons will be able to take him down, but Ons himself will not be able to last.
WGS. They
are on the right. Nice right-click accuracy here from Gargoyle.
They're just absolutely denying BlossoM any momentum.
Well, they're going to get a little bit of distance here because they do not have Korian yet.
Yes.
He's on the way back, so this is going to be some free gain for BlossoM. They have 5 ultimates ready to go.
BlossoM's going to need to, I actually would have preferred if they sent most of their heroes up to the high ground and just let slow push the cart, because now Armament's had enough time to get into position here. Look at the DPI on the high ground.
Rallies out from both Brigidas. Trying just for the fire strike his way up to that next Shatter. Be at 60%.
Nice
Shatter gonna be coming down, finds him, but the Transcendence is there. Deny that away. Now the ground comes surging in onto the back. The bombs coming out from both of these teams. One high, one on the ground.
Mineral's
no
caught.
picks to be found. Double sound barrier coming through. All out war. Transcendence in from Swoon. Mineral and Illicit both coming up with kills. Illicit getting another one there as Mondu will fall. That will be the defenses of WGS broken. Absolutely shattered after one of the most chaotic fights that we have seen in quite some time.
Yeah, Swoon just being really, really patient with that Transcends. That's what won them that fight, because Mineral was caught alone after the grab pulled his teammates away. He was stuck in that corner. He had the Zarya bubble on him, but that was it. Well, On's like predictive bubble there on the enemy right click. That was actually pretty slick. But now BlossoM has got this nice push rolling around. WGS has the Shatter to use to try to control this choke. This is the best place to fight right now.
Shatter
they're denied.
coming down. We've gone so far here from BlossoM to make sure that cart, swords are difficult, can keep moving.
Yeah.
We'll just go ahead and clean them up. DPI down to half HP as he
So
retreats.
frustrating that Korian is the one to die there. He was the one who wanted to control that choke, but BlossoM was one step ahead.
Yep.
And so now they can actually kind of control these respawns through this choke. So Korian has to kind of get out before he can even look to find a Shatter. But now we're in a wide open space where it's so much more difficult to pull off the Shatter. You're relying on a shield bash, you're relying on your opponent's mistakes, where they're standing. On scouted out on the high ground, they know he's up there looking for a grab. He's just gonna jump down instead for safety.
Shatter coming through with the Zarya bubbles from Ons are just absolutely perfect. No one's gonna be locked down. DPI here in the front line. Now the Graviton Surge coming in. BlossoM wiping the floor with WGS. Myungbong will get taken down right at the end.
What a turnaround, you know, we expected stuff like this in this series where it's just all about the momentum, right? BlossoM halted that spawn. Finally, they get that one kill on Korian and everything changes. WGS can't take a single proper fight. Pelican used the rally in that fight almost like a sound barrier, you know, building up, trying to keep them alive. Didn't work out. Ends up losing it as a result. And they, you know, they're close to a grab armament. I mean, they have the grab, they just can't get in position just yet. They need to use it very carefully if they want to kind of match the timing defensively here. If they waste it, I mean, WGS Armament can roll, or sorry, BlossoM can roll this through.
Yep. Mineral going to be looking for another Shatter here shortly. Graviton search from Gargoyle, not going to be finding anything, it would seem. Self-destruct's going to be changed on either side. Mineral finding a couple lockdowns with that Shatter. Takes out Pelican, just swinging this way to success. Transcendence is out from both of the Zenyatta's area. Karayan, rather, going to be taken down. And this is just such a bad look now for WGS. Pop out DPI there on the cart. They take down the pilot. Advancing now. 2:16 remaining on the clock. BlossoM looking to best the time established by WGS. Only 36 seconds when they finish.
I think their best chance, WGS's best chance, is to try to get a big shatter here. Karayan's going to have to flank, though, and they already know where he is. So it's not going to be easy to make that work. And otherwise, I mean, this is just going to be an easy fight for BlossoM.
Yep. Overwatch desperately needs to get that Transcendence online. He needs it right now. A couple percentage away. The sound barrier will try to save their lives, but Gargoyle will die. Ryan using that Shatter doesn't come up with much of anything. Tori now answering back with a sound barrier of his own. Myungwon going to be popping out the Transcendence swoop yet again. It's going to be the second one to have that Zen ult ready to go. The Shatter comes in from Mineral. They lock down Karayan and Pelican. Take them down. WGS going to be stringing one after the other, just trying to buy enough time to have a superior time bank.
There was two perfect support ultimates from Armament, but it's still not enough. Now they're just desperately tossing ultimates out. The Tracer swap here just to, as you say, try to match that time.
Ryan going to be stunned up. The shield coming through. Doesn't even get an opportunity to try to get that pin off. Myungwon taking down Pelican. Solo will be finished off by Sia. This
DPI
should be it right here. DPI melted out. Graviton surge for good measure. BlossoM get the finish.
It's not over yet, though. We're looking at like a 30-second difference in time bank.
Yeah.
And with both teams having crazy good early holds outside of spawn, I mean, this is still anyone's game to take. You want every second you can get. Well, this is not like a, they won 30 seconds. This is the massive advantage. This is a slight advantage. And again, WGS Armament can certainly bring us to that fifth and final map with a solid push here, and then afterwards a good defense.
I mean, this is quite literally probably going to be a game of inches, given how these initial defenses have gone and how aggressively they're playing. Unless somebody wants to step back and not be as aggressive as we've been seeing, then this is more than likely just going to be all-out chaos. Well, just barely have these cards move forward.
The only thing I have to add, though, is I mean, this game is played in the metric system. You can see the meters right there, the top right. It's not, I mean, maybe they could add that option for people who like to use inches and feet and miles. But for the rest of the world, we're just going to say it's a game of meters here. Certainly true, though, Achilios. 23-second advantage here on the clock. WGS Armament, if they get wiped once, it's basically the end. So this needs to be really carefully done. They're going to scout first with the Sonic Arrow before approaching. They don't want to get caught by a container spawn.
They're way forward. Ryan leading the charge, swinging away here in the front line, and he's going to find the first blood as Mineral will get taken down. The Fire Strike burns them out. Sia out of the back. That is going to be so much free distance here for WGS. Already a fantastic start.
And if they can keep the ult advantage, you know, it might be a game of miles instead of inches. Because
it would have to be kilometers, Wolf.
I mean, look at this. This is a free push. We're about to hit overtime, right? BlossoM needs to be decisive and win this fight before WGS gets ultimates. So this needs to be the big one if they want to keep this distance low.
Drop down here onto the back. Big girls coming through. On's 100 energy. WGS have to respect him right now. Could destroy their entire squad. They're still getting closer and closer to A. Pushing forward, setting up these right clicks, trying to find a break on that mech. Almost gets it. DPI, however, barely is able to stay alive. Rally. Instantly gets a rally, pops it as soon as it comes online. There's that one down. Transcendence out from Swoon, topping him up as they try to take the fight. Myungwon now going to be matching. Ryan has the Shatter online, throws it down. On's going to get locked up. Gargoyle tries to use that Graviton surge, but it gets eaten up by Sia. Says thank you very much for that. He's going to make his way back to the back.
Very close fight here.
Going to be finding Swoon now, taking down Ons, coming up with the kill onto Pelican. Just DPI Myungwon now, the former, as he desperately tries to zip around. Rejoins back down onto the ground, will get popped out, and no one else can tag through. They almost make it to A, but they cannot quite get it. WGS get halted.
the moment he rocket thrustered up and spun around, I heard one of the players scream loudly on stage, and I would imagine that was him himself. Just wanted to buy time, just wanted to get one more meter, but it's not going to be even A. The members of BlossoM do not sigh relief here, because as much as it was a decent hold, they themselves could very easily, with the short 1 minute and 23 second time bank, be held at spawn, but they were basically held for a minute and a half on their very attack. So a game that is very much, you feel good about this, you feel like, okay, we stopped them at a reasonable point. They did not have that much an overtime push. We have to do just a little bit better at worst. It's all about that first fight. It's all about controlling that. No way we see a risky all-in quad DPS on this time bank. It's just simply not worth the risk. We saw that that can be really staggered and slowed down if it doesn't really do well. It doesn't push the cart very much distance. So it's going to be standard. Ons may look for like 1 kill with this Widow and then swap, but I imagine that is going to be about it.
I mean, if he gets a pick, then that is absolutely huge.
Yep. The trade-off is they're losing the Zarya here. 1 cheer for BlossoM in the crowd. Oh, misses the grapple.
Okay. Takes 2 shots. Yeah, that's enough of that.
2% behind Gargoyle. Oh, think of the ult charge.
Oh my God. It's over.
Right click catches him up.
It's over! They threw it. No, here we go. He's already, he's caught up pretty. He's all right.
Well, BlossoM is actually passively moving around the back, collapsing in now.
Time to push their way forward. Mineral taking a bit of damage here. Field has to come back up. WGS.
Most important thing is the Zenyatta ult right now, and it's pretty similar charges. Swoon leading a little bit. He's doing a little bit more damage.
Ball trying to keep everybody topped up here. Push forward. Mineral going to be swinging away, but he's going to be taking down Mondu, finding that kill. Gargoyle.
This is huge for WGS.
Healthy.
This is massive. This is massive, massive, massive.
Yep, see ya.
BlossoM is in trouble now.
Go ahead and stagger him. He'll be going off the side.
BlossoM is in so much trouble. This should not have happened. Swoon has the transfer. They wanted to use it to fight, and they're getting staggered.
WGS.
That's basically GG, Achilios.
This is looking like it's going to be a map 5, Wolf.
Looks like it.
The second time today.
Swoon's going to have to use the Transcendence to fight, but they have a disadvantage there. Shadow will be up first for Karain. Where's that fight?
From into the back, DPI looking for some picks. A little bit of damage, will not be able to get the kill. Actually pops Sia out of the back. That's huge. So here we go, Transcendence in. Shadow coming down.
They have no barrier, no sound barrier.
Have to stay in onto the cart. Graviton Surge going to be coming through from either side.
Mondu counters it.
Mondu holding on here to the cart, making sure they cannot push this one up. And this should just about be it. They are so very close, but even so, no one can string together to make it there to keep that one contested. WGS Armament will be winning here on Route 66. They take their map pick yet again. And now we are all tied up for the second time today. It's going to be the longest broadcast day of Season 3 so far.
Indeed. The one thing we knew, yes, the one thing we knew about this series, the one thing we could say confidently was this was not going to be a one-sided series, and it absolutely has come full circle on that prediction we started the day with, because these two teams are neck and neck, back and forth. You know, some big star plays from the tank line, some supports, making big choices. We've seen some inconsistencies across the Brigitte and D.Va line. But it just feels like form is the one thing that is not perfectly consistent for these two teams as we kind of go up and down like waves, like a sine graph between these two. Map to map, map choice advantage always in WGS's favor. And now we're going to Nepal. There's no strategic depth in terms of what happens on this 5th map. It's just, this is the card you've been dealt. That's the global map lock-in for tiebreaker this season. It's very, very stressful now for WGS and BlossoM to try to figure out the best way to approach this map. We're going to see a lot more Reinhardt. Remember, when you go back to Lijiang, that was our closest battle between these two.
Yep. Went to 3 rounds, which doesn't happen very often in Control.
Yeah.
I think the last 3 series, maybe 4 series that we've had, have all been 2-0s on Control. So this was a bit of a break in the streak.
Very tense here. for BlossoM. I think coming in, to me, is slight favorites. You know, the recency is there for WGS beating them in Trials. But I mean, this is a long-standing esports roster. It's GC Busan from Season 4's Seed in Season 1. Same org, new roster, looking to not end up in last place. WGS has had that spot every season, 6th in groups. A win here would make that very much less likely. They'd get a chance at playoffs. So this is a massive 5th map. It's crazy that we have this parallel in both groups today in these matches that to the fans look like weak matchups, not that exciting, but do mean so much. They both go to Game 5. As Pelicans pulled away here, feeling the frustration, feeling the stress, what the series has been for him, amongst others. The game they had won, essentially on Horizon, wouldn't even be here if they had been able to hold that B, if they had been a little bit more patient. Those are the kind of things that, as a rookie player, you're always going to think. Pelican was the guy who made the call to go for the bash, to go for the shatter that failed. You know, that's, as a very young player, that's always going to be in the back of your mind in a situation like this where you're like, we are the closest we have ever been to winning. I messed that up. Now we have to do this. We have to play Nepal.
Well, here we go. Coaches and staff leaving the stage. Players will remain. One more map to be played. Another tiebreaker back-to-back here today, Wolf.
We also had multiple extra rounds on the series. We just had the extra round on Horizon into extra rounds on Route 66. So there is an element of fatigue and stress, and can I just have 5 minutes, please, before we go to Game 5? Like,
I agree. That's exactly how I feel.
It's been our longest broadcast.
I have had to go to the restroom since this series started, basically. Maybe since Hollywood. And we've also, for some reason, decided to have double 5 games on the day where I'm pretty sure I have tonsillitis again.
Yes.
So woke up this morning with that. So it's great.
We're hanging in there.
Who did I piss off to deserve this?
I don't know, Achilios.
It's all right. No, it's exciting games at least, which is good. If they were boring games that went to 5, it would truly be tragic. But the games have at least been exciting. They've been delivering on the hype way more than we anticipated.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, at least in this one we expected to be close, but I didn't expect it to be interesting, and it actually has been. There's been some tense moments. There's these like heavy commitments to fights that don't go well, and there's regret, and there's the emotions. You can see the players are all exhausted. I like it. You unfortunately, with you having to go to the bathroom, we talk about our 3 different studios we've had this year. I mean, this is one of the hardest ones to go.
Yeah, this is one of the roughest ones to try to get to. But here we go, guys. We're all set and ready. We know exactly what map it's going to be. Nepal, yet again, was a 2-0 by Stormquake in our first series. Will one of these teams step it up, be a little bit more clean this time, or will we get 3 rounds yet again?
What's your prediction, Achilios? BlossoM or WGS? I'm hitting you with the hard question.
I'm predicting 3 rounds, I can tell you that.
All right, that's a cop-out answer.
WGS.
I predict WGS as well. I think they're going to do it. I think they're going to come in. They got the momentum. They got the advantage on Route 66.
There you have it. We both think WGS, so congratulations, BlossoM, on your victory. Now, we'll see what happens. We'll see where we're going to start off. It was Shrine into Village earlier on for Stormquake. Do we repeat, or will we get to see Sanctum?
For WGS for a long time, it was just, can we win a map? Then it was, can we win a series? That might happen tonight, right now.
All right, well, we'll be Shrine.
The tier for these 2 teams has been Trials tier. Always, just like MVP Space of old, knocked into promotion tournaments, then returning to the forefront of Contenders, and then the process repeats. For BlossoM, they found a lot more success, a lot more game wins, very close to playoff multiple times. For WGS, it has not been the case, but this is a completely new roster, and they are so much closer to this org than they ever have been to winning a best of 5.
Well, here we go. It's going to be Breaking out the fight straight in onto the point. DPI already taking so much damage, as is Karayan, and he will be taken down. Sia coming up with that finish there onto the Reinhardt. Means that WGS have to peel back. Pushing forward, looking for any kind of stagger they can find. Will come up a bit short in that regard, but still can feel very happy with this first cap lockdown. And look at Swoon surging forward towards that Transcendence. Now at 75, 76%. It just keeps exploding with every right click.
Certainly does. He's gonna have the Transcendence here, and that's gonna be a big problem because he can use it just for safety here.
Yeah.
Like he absolutely will once he has it.
Just be willy-nilly.
Nice hits
Fire
there.
Strike not going to find the connection, denied away. They get the bash in. Mineral now going to be holding the Shatter. These Ryan's going solo, and Swoon will go ahead. Pops that Transcendence. Myungbong going to have his online now. Forward, Mineral slamming it down. Catches some of the Transcendence from Myungbong. Going to keep him alive for a little bit longer, but then it expires, and now they will all get dropped. DPI pumped out of that mech will be able to go off the side of the map. 40% right now for BlossoM. But you can see by the way these fights are going, it's not looking great.
It was really risky to commit the Transcendence when Swoon did, because he knew Myungbong was going to have one right afterwards. They didn't do any damage during Transcendence. They all going to keep the armor. And yet even still, BlossoM was able to have better target selection and get the kills at the end of the day with the grab coming through. But can they hold it this time without the counter to Gargoyle's grab? He's had great Zarya plays, had great grabs all night long. That's the challenge.
We'll be opening things up. Sound barrier in from WGS. Listen, get bashed up. The flip actually is going to be coming through naturally as they just get pushed off the point. But the Shatter comes in from Mineral. Ryan, Pelican, now DPI gone. This might be the fastest flip that we have ever seen in Contenders, Wolf.
Yeah.
10% gained, and there you have it, 11 at the end.
Such a decisive fight for BlossoM. And this is going to be basically the end. How can you approach on Nepal against double support ultimates? You don't even have a grab. You can't even get into position for Shatter. Tagging the point feels like a pipe dream at this point. They're checking to see if DPI is leaking here, where this approach is coming from. They're going to see it in just a moment. They know it's coming this direction. They can hear it. All they have to do is just not die in this fight.
Well, Mandu almost doing just that. It's tagged up a lot. Ryan will get taken down. Sound barrier and the Transcendence stacking them together. Will be coming through for BlossoM, and so far Mineral's going to be the only one taken down on that team. Illicit jumped on, will fall. WGS trying desperately to get this flip. High energy for Gargoyle, getting closer and closer to that next Graviton Surge. It looks like WGS actually will be able to grind their way to a victory here. They get a flip back.
It's the rally timing from Pelican on top of the stacked support ultimates you mentioned. They didn't use them in tandem to get double the value. They only got half. They only got the value of one support ultimate versus that rally. Gargoyle now holds a Graviton. So BlossoM is not in an advantageous position anymore at all.
Unless Mineral can get that Shatter. The grab will be coming down. Mineral instantly melted.
Perfectly done here from WGS. Identifying that was the threat. He was the front line. Now they can build more ult charge on the chase.
Yeah, so they're able to chase forward. Build up a little bit more, try to get those staggers on. Knocking Sia out of that mech would be nice. Does have a ledge nearby that he can jump off of, but still by a little bit of extra time.
He's looking for that right click to finish off the Transcendence. Doesn't happen.
Yep.
But
Mandu close to a sound barrier as well. Dotori, half the charge that Mandu has at the moment. Pushing forward. Shatter going to be coming down. Mineral locks up Ryan, but it's actually going to be Pelican taken down first. Sound barrier in from WGS.
And the grab here could be big.
Ons has it. Myungbong now going to use the Transcendence. Ons can just wait. He can play this one patiently, but we'll go ahead. Slams that one down. Shatter coming out. Listen. Ons, Mineral, Swoon, all going to get locked up and taken out of here. WGS suddenly looking reinvigorated on the fight.
They didn't wait, like you said. He tossed it in knowing Myungbong had the counter. Then we saw a better self-destruct here from DPI than one that previously was from Sia. He's got another one available, but he might not get to use it. They're gonna have to take a sloppy, rough fight here. There's no way they can attack with any ultimates. It's just gonna have to be a pick, and they're taking already so much damage on their way in.
We'll be able to force out the OT as we enter in to double stacks here, 99 to 99. Couple struck into the back, Shield's gonna be coming up. Sia taking down Myungbong, able to find that baby even. Now there's gonna be the sound barrier out of the Tory. Mineral gonna get dropped. Ryan will be in the exchange. Really had that Shatter up, but WGS still gonna be worse for wear here as Illicit goes down. Holding off the likes of BlossoM. They take out Ons, looking for any additional targets. Swoon here on the point, popping out with that Transcendence, just trying to buy some time. See a rejoin, swapped over onto the Wrecking Ball.
Shatters
already
up.
has used the shield, will get taken down. Graviton Surge locking up Mineral. He is going to get dropped. OT bar starting to plummet. WGS, they shut them off. 199 the first round goes their way.
Very much a massive comeback. They had every disadvantage in terms of ultimates there. The first cap went to BlossoM, but they had the better management of ults, especially the supports, right? They were winning ult fights, which is how this meta works, right, on Control.
Yep.
It sounds weird to say, but they're winning these ult fights with basically half the ultimates that that BlossoM is using. So that leads to trading up, leads to Ons panicking, dropping that grav too early. The self-destruct from DPI there that comes with the grab that kind of secured them that big hold, that big flip, was massive. Now we head into Village. And Village is going to be just the same, you know, really about that first cap, how you use the ultimates it gains you. Both going for the neutral low ground approach, unlike our previous series. And WGS gets control first.
Wrap around here to the other side. Ryan playing up front. Swinging away. Mineral coming out on top just a bit. He's going to be stuck into the corner. Fire strikes coming through. Ryan again just keeps taking a beating every time that shield gets dropped. Has a Zarya bubble now. WGS looking for that first cap. Will be able to grab it.
That is so huge. They can buy so much time with this.
We just see another 2-0 BlossoM. Have time to work with. His Zarya bubbles coming out, constantly having to focus in on a Orion to keep him up. And Illicit's going to be the first one eliminated. His Gargoyle comes up with the kill. Now pushing forward, 90 energy ready to go. Interruption on that charge. Nicely done by Pelican. Leads the Mineral dead, and now Sia gets popped out.
The rally helps him do this. Pelican builds the rally first again, just like the last map. It didn't get them to flip in that case, but he builds it first. They get to hold the armor. Illicit's going to probably use his on the approach to get Ons into the grav range. They don't know Myungban will probably have a Transcendence yet. They might be thinking, we can rush this in before it's ready. That's probably their plan of attack here. We'll see the rally come in as they get onto the point itself. Speed boost in to grab that point control. Rally's out.
Rally from Illicit. It's going to be a shatter coming down from Mineral, but to be able to find anything here.
Ons doesn't have the grab yet.
One of his own online. Gargoyle using that Graviton Surge locks them up. 2 kills already coming through the front line, just crumbling under the pressure. WGS maintaining control.
I can't believe Ons didn't have the grab yet. He must just not have hit any of his right clicks on the way in. WGS were not in perfect line of sight for that, you know, angle to really work out. But if he had the grab, that whole plan of attack works out a lot better. He has it now, but they don't have the Transcendence. They don't have the rally armor for the rest of the members to make that approach the same way. So WGS has this massive advantage in positioning right now. Could see a bash here set up. Here he comes. Oh, he misses it.
Holding on to the shatter here. Ryan being patient. Zarya bubble's going to be used. Graviton Surge coming out from Ons, but it's not going to find anything. It gets eaten up. DPI says thank you very much. There goes your hopes. Fire strike in the sound barrier. Buying a bit more time here. Pin in on this room. Cannot finish him off yet. BGS still maintaining control as we get ready to hit 99%. Gargoyle will fall. Exchange coming through, but now WGS starting to turn the fight around. On taking out Mineral, dead. Sia, the only one left, gets popped out of the back, gets taken down, and that will be it. It's not the 3 maps that I called out, but it is the WGS victory that we thought would happen. They take it in the end. Convincing win.
Very convincing win. They came together after the momentum they had after Route 66. There is, for WGS Armament, finally light at the end of the tunnel. A team that has so many fans. They are the Shanghai Dragons of Korea. No wins to their name. They're always at the bottom of the group, no matter what roster they bring. They've rebuilt 3 times. And finally, the crowd gets to cheer for them in victory together. But for BlossoM, on the other side of the stage, it's 3 seasons in a row of the same roster, the same lineup of players, failing time and time again. And this time, they failed at WGS. This time they are by far at rock bottom.
0-3 in matches.
Tears of joy here for DPI. He had the game of his life tonight with those self-destructs, those grab eats.
The grab eats especially, that last one there. absolutely huge. One of the most instrumental things that happened to give them that victory so convincingly on Village.
You have a team of guys that are so young. They've been working so hard week after week. They're in a tough group with teams like MVP Space and Runaway. And, you know, you got to think, especially for the rookies, it's like, if I can't beat the worst team in the group next to us, like, are we going to beat anybody? Like, are we going to take any wins this season?
Yeah.
For BlossoM, it's the exact opposite feeling that's rough, though. It's like, we should be the veterans. We should win this. Like, we have been playing for so long together. And this team of new rookies, some of these players are, you know, not even 17 years old, have never played on stage before. And they beat us.
Well, yet again, the next time these guys get the square off against each other since Trials, it is, in fact, WGS coming up with a victory, not the 3-1, but they get the 3-2 in the end, and they do end it extremely convincingly with that victory there on Nepal after losing control initially on Lijiang.
Yeah.
So a great turnaround from them overall.
The cool thing, too, is on Shrine, like, they were losing it super hard, too. Like, that's the most convincing part, is they were able to win that with ult disadvantages. They, you know, didn't get the first capture. On Lijiang, it was a more of a case of whoever got the first cap really controlled, especially if you look back at Control Tower, where they got the first control of the point with the ults there, right, with Ron's on the Mei, etc. What a good series, actually, that ended up being.
Yeah,